You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. What's up? It's Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. My name's Kel, Marcus and Jessica. What's up, guys? How you feeling?
What up?
Tired.
Wake up, sister. Wake up.
Tired. And
Yeah, we're all going to have to power through this.
I know. How
I'm
are you,
exhausted.
Kel?
I know.
I'm tired, man. Just got off the road. Just got back from California on a long-ass drive. And I'm beat. But we're here. We're about to do the damn thing because we got questions to answer and advice to give, right?
Let's do it.
Woo! All right. So I guess there's a new term that's blowing up. Have you guys heard of this thing called eggshell parenting?
That might be me. What?
Yes,
I haven't heard
can
of
gather
it.
what
Explain
it is.
Explain it for those of us who don't get it quite yet.
So here's the question from this lady, because she's the one that's kind of explaining it, because I guess she's dealing with it with her teenage daughter or preteen daughter. I've never heard of I've never heard of the term, but I feel like it's something that our parents might have did, but it just didn't have this name. So
Okay.
just here's her email. My daughter called me an eggshell parent the other day. She said she saw a video on TikTok about it, and it sounds like me because I'm strict. I had no idea what it meant, so I looked it up. From my research, it comes from the term walking on eggshells and describes a parent with unstable moods and outbursts, which cause their children to walk on eggshells around them. Apparently, this can cause PTSD in children and into adulthood. I admit that I do sometimes flip out on my children, but I don't feel like it's over the top. I'm not perfect. No parent is. Have you ever been called an eggshell parent? What would you do if your kid called you one? And how do I know if I am one? I'm just feeling like a bad parent. I need advice.
First of all, okay, I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was parents walk on eggshells around their kids because they don't want to upset their kids. That is kind of how I am, which is not a good thing. But I also explode. So you get both ends. First of all, to question a trending TikTok term and really take that to heart and be like, am I that parent? It's coming from a bunch of fucking teens, okay?
That run the world. TikTok runs the world.
Well, TikTok teens around the world. And I don't know, unless you're abusing your child physically, mentally, emotionally, like she said, parenting is hard. And kids, grow fucking thicker skin. We're going to explode. We're going to blow up. If you were doing what you were supposed to be doing, we wouldn't be blowing up in general. But yeah, that's my take. But there are some parents that it's sad that kids have to walk on eggshells around them because they aren't stable and because they will take all of the shit that's happened to them possibly throughout the day and just lay it on the kids and take it out on the kids. That's when it is not okay.
I agree. I would agree with all that. And parenting is hard, but that's why we're adults and they're the children, right? We're supposed to be able to handle a little bit more. Life is tough. I get it. There's mental health and all these other things. And just the stress of the day can be enough. And then you come home and you're able to, you're trying to unwind, you're trying to relax. And then kids,
you can't unwind when you have kids. That's like
kids are scratching at your door. There's a bunch of questions. I got homework. They want stuff, but
like animals?
That's adulting. Yes.
Scratching at your door?
Scratching at the door because our door is locked. Our door is locked. If we need to unwind or we need to chill out or we want to get away from the kids, the door is locked. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We need our space and we need to be able to unwind as well. So kids that are walking around on eggshells, it can be, there's a part of it that can be unhealthy. And I was pointing at you when I was laughing earlier because, and not that you were walking on eggshells as a kid, but like.
Kinda, I thought about that.
I know, but it got to a point to where you just said it doesn't matter anymore. And I'm just going to do what I want to do because it was so much, right?
Right. Yeah. When you're,
So what I would say to parenting is though, you have to be mindful of that. okay, you might have had a little bit too much life
for the day.
One day, yeah, it was just too much. So you need to follow that up and kind of try to balance things out and show the kids, okay, all right, I had a bad day yesterday, and just communicate. And we talk about this all the time. Talk to your kids so they can understand. Yeah, they may not get it completely at a certain age, but have a real conversation with your kids. Right. It's worth it.
Right. Coming back, you're an eggshell parent. First of all, don't talk to me like that.
Don't call me no names. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. Are you calling your parents names and shit? That's not cool.
Hey, do you guys? I just thought of something strange, and maybe this is just tired brain, but I guess this refers to Jess's comment of sometimes she feels like she's walking on eggshells with the kids because she doesn't want to upset them. But being outnumbered by the amount of kids you have, do you ever feel prisoner to your children?
Are you kidding me?
I don't know why that's funny, but
we've been locked up for we've been doing 10 to life for
25 with an L. For a minute.
We are absolutely trapped. We're trapped. There is no way around it. We are trapped.
But you become institutionalized and you figure out how to get through this, and
Jesus
you're
kind
of just an autopilot. Like, all right, I'm gonna drive all day. I got 3 or 4 pickups during the day. I got homework to do after school. I got kids that got to buy groceries every other day because they're eating all the snacks, and things just have to happen in order for the things to go smoothly. And if you don't do it, it's worse. So that you become institutionalized and you just get through it.
Well, about me, my comment about not wanting to walk on eggshells and upset my kids, it's more of, you got to pick your battles. And we got 5 kids, and I cannot be attacking them for every little thing. It's taxing for me. So I would rather just let some shit. I'd rather just battle the important issues than so I guess if you consider that walking on eggshells, then I am, because I don't. And, it's for my mental health, too, because if I don't walk on eggshells, or if I'm I don't think it would be a good environment for the kids. Well, if I did not walk on a little bit of
that's
eggshell.
Where we get the tag team effect, too, right? If I hear some foolishness that's going on downstairs, I may mosey on down and come check. And you talk about feeling trapped, like you're in the jail, right? So this is like we in the yard, right? And I see
Jesus, Marcus.
But you know what I'm saying? I see the homie out there and they going to war with somebody, so I got to come check in. Okay, Jess, I got you. I'm going to take care of this one.
It's like he comes down. Don't be dealing with your mom like that. And it's like, like this. Like, tag, you're it. And that's the end.
So, yes, everything Jess said, but it is teamwork and it's taxing, and she does the same for me, right? If I'm going through it, or if it's just a little bit too much. And sometimes I just check out and I potentially maybe go in a little too hard, right?
Right. I have to be like, that was not necessary. That just wasn't necessary. And then he likes to poke at them as well.
Because if they want to go the distance, I got to let them know I can go the distance. I can continue this. With these kids. And you want to try me like an adult and you want to go back and forth, then let's have a friendly debate. And most of the time, I'm not even screaming. I'm not even screaming or yelling at, and they're getting out of character, but I'll remain in debate mode, and I'm able to go back and forth.
Scary ass shit.
So it's okay.
I have been like, oh my God.
And they don't see that side of me very often because, I'm very here. But when I go there, and it's hard to come back sometimes.
Which kid is the most the one that wants to debate the most?
Our oldest.
She's the oldest, and she's the most mature, and
even when she was younger, though, you pretty much threatened her life.
Right.
And
but they all kind of do it in their own different way. Everybody got different personalities.
Well, Kenny will go back and forth with you, but just like she's really trying to
justify
or defend herself. But Carmen goes back and forth with you like, you're dumb. I'm not. And this is we're going to go tit for tat.
And those are the debates I'm here for.
It can turn into a full-blown family fight. Right. So those are the best.
People getting jumped.
Those are the best. When I get out of the car and I'm like, fuck this, and I leave, and then he's yelling at them. Everybody's yelling at each other. Everybody's fighting. Those are the good times.
And then it's silent in the house
and then
for a couple hours.
It's silent.
They'll be like, y'all want something to eat?
Right. Like full on family fight. Everybody's screaming. Kids are crying. It's just, yeah.
It happens. And that's real life.
That's real life.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's interesting, man. Okay, so you do sometimes feel like a prisoner to your kids, which I get. But like, so do you think like something like this style of parenting that's like eggshell parenting, quote unquote, is what some parents have to do, let's say if they are outnumbered, to try to keep absolute power and try to keep everything like contained?
No. That goes back to everything we talk about or we've gone over. It's about a lack of self-control.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. If your kids are scared to approach you or scared that you're going to just snap and fire off on them, like you said, it's not good for their mental health. And it's just, no.
I think there's a fine line to consistency, though. I think some consistency can be good. And just because the kids don't like it, sometimes they just got to deal with that. If it's healthy, I know you don't like to clean up. I know you don't like to do X, Y, Z, but these are things that you have to do in order for the household to.
Right. But sometimes they test you and sometimes you do got to snap. I'm just saying.
Or you just make them uncomfortable. I know you don't want to hear it, or you might feel like you're on eggshells, but this is just the way it is. And I don't feel like you always have to snap. I don't think snapping is always the way to go, right? It's just a conversation. And
but
or what type of leader are you going to be?
When a kid is going back and forth with you like you're an adult.
Or are you going to scare everybody and bring out the talons every time it's time to have a conversation, try to get somebody to do something?
Like I said, there's a time and a place. Sometimes there is a time to fully snap
and sometimes
threaten
there's
a
not,
child's
though.
Life.
And sometimes it's not. Because sometimes that doesn't work.
It's uncalled for. Yes.
Right.
And that's when, as a parent, and we talk about, the previous generation, apologize.
Right. Yeah.
Say you're sorry.
Clean it up.
Say, like you said, I did have a bad day.
Or I went too far this time. My bad.
I went too far. And I want you to know I'm sorry.
You didn't deserve that.
Right. I'm working on it because we have to continually work on ourselves as well.
I have a question, you guys. What about those kids, and we've all seen them before, what about the kids that are just hella bad? Like those kids that are just hella bad.
Misunderstood.
Like, yeah, and the parents, they try to do it all the right way, but the kid is just hella bad. Like we've all seen that little just badass kid. Like, how do you parent that? How do you not, you don't want to do the eggshell thing, but at the same time, it's like, like, shorty don't listen.
Right.
But at the same time, if the kid's not listening or the kid's not responding, why continue down the same road or doing the same thing?
That's the definition of stupid fucking insanity.
Or you're whooping the kid's ass over and over again and you're not getting no results.
But that's what I'm saying though, is what if the parent hasn't tried to be aggressive or do the aggressive thing and just try to do it the calm, collective way because they're mindful of the PTSD and like, I don't want to traumatize my kid.
Now, what kind of bad are you speaking of, Kel? Because there's different, if there's age different, like what kind of bad? What's the age?
Like kids that like there's those kids that are just like mischievous, for instance. Like I knew some kids like they just, all they did, they couldn't help it. They would just steal all the time. Like the kid that always gets caught stealing or the kid that is super, super sneaky but sneaky in like the wrong ways of like, wanting, just getting into shit. Like, I don't know, just the kid that's always in some type of drama. The kid that's always, the school's always calling the house. Like, yo, such today. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with that kid?
Like Marcus said, that kid was me. And, and I have ADHD. So my parents did not know about that. And so I really had a tough time because I was misunderstood. I wasn't a bad kid. I just needed attention. I needed emotional support. I needed somebody to understand at least something. And when you don't have that, just like Marcus said earlier, you literally develop a fuck it and you just continue down that path. So the parents that are trying to, like you said, do it the calm way and, you know, all of this kind of stuff are probably the same parents that will take their kid and have them evaluated. Because
that's real.
You know, it's like you're doing the same thing over. I'm trying. I've done this. I've done that. I've done this. I've done that. And I'm not saying put your kid on medication, but I do think it helps to be aware and to understand.
Or to do the research at least.
Yeah, do your research and read up and have just a little bit. I mean, I guess that parent might already have compassion, but just to kind of understand and, you know, use whatever tools you have to use to navigate a child that possibly has ADHD or has some type of, you know, whatever. Yeah, I think that's helpful.
I mean, it's sometimes a real conversation too. I keep going back to this, but I remember the shows Scared Straight, right?
Oh God. Oh.
And you got these dudes that's getting all in your face, and this is real life experience. If you want to steal and you think you're tough and all this kind of stuff, well, let me show you exactly what this really looks like, right? And it sounds like
they're missing something.
That this is what these parents is doing. No, you're trying all these different stuff. So I say all that like in a joking way, but trying different things, I think, is the best thing that you can do as a parent. It's not always one way. This is how I grew up, so this is how it's going to be, that type of thing. Right. So I encourage parents to try different things. If one thing don't work, you try another.
You try another, but you do not keep doing the same. You're just getting more frustrated. Like you just get more mad.
Everybody's frustrated, though, and that's normal. Though I think that's normal for parents to be frustrated at me.
But I'm not gonna go do the same. If it's not working, then there's gotta be something else.
But sometimes you don't know what you don't have.
You do not know.
You don't have the resources.
Then you're an eggshell parent.
Or you're just a parent that is not
crazy.
Going to get the results that you want to get out of your kids. Right. And then sometimes that's just the way it is.
I was going to say, sometimes I think you just are just not going to get the results. And I don't know, you just got to pray that they age out of bullshit or something. I have no idea.
Experiences can put them on the right track sometimes.
Yeah. Keep them busy.
No, experiences like a bad experience might be able to clean it up.
I'm like, you don't want to explode. Put them in a sport. Keep them busy.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Can we go back to your Scared Straight for a second?
Oh my God. Because,
why?
I'm you know me, y'all. I'm an immature little boy. You remember that one, Marcus, with the open that Kool-Aid up, stick your finger in it.
Yep, and then put it on your lips.
I kiss you.
What? Yeah. Where's that from?
Scared Straight.
Are you serious?
When they,
oh man,
oh my God,
scaring the little boys and be like, yeah, man, I make you my girl. I had you washing my drawers and all that type of stuff. It's pretty intense.
He made the one little boy comb his chest hair. I died.
Oh my God, you can't do that.
Hey, man, got him on the straight and narrow, though.
Can. But I guess.
And the parents was bringing the kids to this type of thing. I was going to say, a lot of parents are like,
room and they're like, I am desperate.
Yeah.
Show these kids where they're going to be. And I bet you a lot of them still ended up.
Hell, you don't even got to show them do Scared Straight. I feel like if you show a kid an episode of Lock Up and you just show them the Fleece Johnson episode of like, oh yeah, there's dudes in prison that will get you.
I mean, I like you and I want you. I mean, is that the dude?
You're not
from
the
Boondocks? And that's a real dude too.
And it's not even like
just got out.
Prison, like juvenile. That whole system is
the whole thing is
wow.
Yeah, juvie is like gladiator school.
And it's the adults that are fucking with the kid. Like it is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's a whole different situation though. That's abuse on the next level and all that kind of stuff for kids that are cast
that should scare
out.
Somebody straight, though.
Kids that aren't, sometimes adults didn't really take the time and they just put them in juvie,
they gave
right?
up on them.
They need help.
Yeah,
assistance, they need counseling, they need all types of stuff. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Is there any kind of confrontational or aggressive way to assert the power in your house, to have like absolute power in your house? Because it's like, I feel like sometimes when we talk, it's like we're giving kids a lot of power, which is good. But like when I read some of the comments that people say to us, it's like, how would you're the parent, they're the child. And some of them I'm like, okay, like I get it, but like it's a little extreme. But then some, like, I kind of get it, where it's like you need to kind of like assert the power in your home of like, okay, like listen, like I don't want you to fear me, but I need you to respect me.
Right.
Right. And I know by doing that, I need to respect you.
Right.
But at the same time, I need to maybe put a little bit of the fear in God in you and remind you of like, like this is what it is. But I can't, I'm like trying to figure out like, how is there like a healthy way to do that? If that's even, is that possible? It's not aggressive, I guess. Cause I feel like you're going to have to
You shouldn't have to be aggressive in order. And I don't like using the term power. Having power over your kids or power over your household. That's a very strong word. And that's a very, I don't know. It's
control.
It's a very,
is that a better word?
Well, you want to like have
direction of your household.
You want to have
positive
control
direction of your household,
but you don't want to like play power dynamics, because I was definitely here for the power dynamic, and that didn't quite work out that way. And it just made things so much worse, because when you feel like I hold the power, I've got to have the power, then you most likely aren't listening to your kids. You're most likely not attending to their emotional needs, because it's a power thing. It's a control thing. I've got to have it. I got to have it. I got to have it. And I think it can do more damage than help. I know some parents have complete control over their household, but I wouldn't call that power.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, Jess, what about those parents then? And I'm just playing, the only reason I'm saying that, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yep.
Is what about those parents that say, and I know we've all heard this, well, I know what's best for you.
Do they?
I want to do what's best for you.
Do they? Okay, yes, parents want to do what's best for their kids, but sometimes it's out of their own personal fears, insecurities, something from their, like, that stems from, I want the best for my kids. How does a parent know what is absolutely, in some circumstances, I do believe parents, I wouldn't say know best, but they know more. They're wiser than their kids, right? So they have a little bit more experience to give, but I'm not necessarily sure if parents know what's best, because trust me, I make a lot of mistakes thinking that I'm doing what's best for my kid. And so I don't know.
I think it's a leadership thing. I think that's the word that I would use. Not control, not I guess those other words. Yeah, but in a leader, what qualities do the kids see in you that make them want to listen?
Oh.
Not just out of fear, right? Or just out of fear, but you respect and you admire to a certain degree. Okay, this is what my parents are doing. I see them moving like this, and they're saying things that I understand. I may not want to do it, but I understand why they're saying that. Or I might not even understand, but it's been broken down to me in a way to where I'm like, okay, maybe I can see what they're talking about. Kids, 5 times out of 10, they might not get it, and you still got to go through the dance of going back and forth with a kid. But if you kind of have that style of leadership to where a kid feels like, okay, this is kind of an open dialogue, but yes, of course the parents are in charge, but I can speak up. I can have a small voice. I can have a small say.
Let them think that they have.
Yes. And and you let them kind of feel empowered, and you don't have to get every W and feel like the kids can't even talk and they just got to bow and they got to listen and stuff like that. That's a uncomfortable situation. And think to yourself, if you were a kid, would you want to go through that situation? I know that sounds a kind of Monday morning quarterback-ish after the game, and this is kind of what we're doing. But like, to be in tough situations is easier said than done, but adults have to be adults, and you got to do the hard stuff. And sometimes you got to take a couple on the chin to get further down the line and be able to have your kids on your team. Right. Because you don't want your kids just to...
And that's what I said. That's why sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to just leave that alone.
Right.
I'm not going to address that.
And you live to fight another day.
I don't feel like fighting every second of the day.
And it's not the time all the time, right in that moment, right? And you let people cool off and maybe...
Oh, no.
Yes, and that's even for adults, right? Adults get pissed off and be like, all right, I'm going to go upstairs for a little bit.
Right. That's when I go upstairs and I talk to you and I'm like, oh, it's nice to have somebody else to talk to and be like, oh,
right,
I want to choke the fuck out of her. And like, and then it helps like bring it back down. And then I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
We can.
Everybody's human. Everybody's human.
I love it.
The kids are little adults. They're just trying to figure it out. So.
Yeah.
Are we soft parents though? We sound pretty soft. Like now we sound like
I don't know. I don't know what we are.
Our kids
We're
don't
just
run us
doing
over,
what
though.
we do.
And we got good
They're
kids.
very
So
they are very respectful. I mean, there's the back and forth because of course we've got hormones, we've got all kinds of stuff coming into play, and we've got fucking kids. They're
a tribe, yeah.
They're not all there yet. So but they're not like disrespectful and like, I mean, they do like dumb shit. And like I said, we got one that's a manipulator and a little deceitful, but they're not bad kids, right? They're just doing normal shit.
Kid stuff.
Kid shit. So, but we've got your number.
Marcus and Jessica Trufant, America's Parents. We should put that on a t-shirt.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that, because the next thing you know, one of us is going to be in prison or one of our kids is, you just never know. That's what I learned in school is you plant the seeds, you water them, and you pray that they grow a certain way because they can turn left even with all of what you've done. So anyways, it's a roll of the dice.
One thing I've learned with my kids, well, at least with my son, is, he's a good kid, rarely gets into trouble, whatever. But when he has his moments, what I like to do, same thing, like, because I don't like to bark and yell. Like, I'm over that shit. That shit didn't work for me either, with my own parents. But I make him think. I just ask him questions. I just be like, well, why did you think that was okay?
Yep.
What was your thought process to that? And just make him think about it and like make him kind of solve it on his own, almost like a therapist.
Right.
Just ask him open-ended questions of like, well, why do you think? Well, why do you think? Okay, so why? And he's just like, oh, and then has like his little aha moment. It's like, see, now for next time we know. And it's like, oh, okay, Dad.
And I think that's a great way because that'll stick in the back of his head. You didn't beat it into the back of his head. You didn't yell it. And just having him express that to you, that is going in his brain and turning. And next time he might even reason to himself like, okay, should I be doing this?
Right.
Probably not.
Or if you bring it back up in that same situation. Yeah. You remember that conversation we had last week when you was going through XYZ? Yeah. Let's go back to that.
And even with, the one question that parents always ask, or excuse me, the one thing that kids always, the parents ask, well, why'd you do it? Right? Mm-hmm. The age old, well, why'd you do it? Why did you do that? And the kids would be like, I don't know why, I just did it. Parents, I have the cheat code for that. The cheat code for that is when your kid says, I don't know why I did it. You ask them, well, what made you feel that way, that you felt that you needed to do that? What were you feeling like? And it's like, well, I was feeling like this. I was feeling like that. So that's why you did it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Because then at that point, it's going back to a feeling. There's something that triggered an emotion to make them want to do that. So how did you feel? Like, did you feel sad? Did you feel bad? Did you feel mean? Why did you feel like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To do what you did. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it works for me.
Yeah.
It might not work for everybody else.
I think it would work for.
Give it a try.
Dr. Kell, I hear you.
Right.
I hear you.
Funny story. Why were we talking about, were you there when we were, you weren't there. We were just talking about kids not listening and touching things that they're not supposed to and all that kind of stuff. And my mom was like, yeah, when you were younger, I would kind of like 2 or 3, I would tell you, don't you touch that. And she said, and you would do like this. I would close my eyes and touch it again because I was smarter than my mom. And I figured if I closed my eyes that they could not see me touch it right after they said, do not touch that. So I just thought that was pretty funny. Oh, I can't touch it? All right.
Did it
if
anyway.
I can't see me, you can't see me. Hello, genius. So anyways, I just thought that was funny.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, this was a good episode, y'all. I think y'all gave some sound advice. I think this woman will be able to navigate this eggshell thing with her kid. And another thing too, at the end of the day, it's trending on TikTok, which means by next week
it'll be gone.
We will have been all forgot about it. So I think she'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
These kids have a short attention span. The next trend, the next dance will be done in her kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she should get over it. She'll be fine.
She's good. But the fact that she's reaching out, I like that in the first place. She's looking for different techniques to do different stuff. So I think that's a start.
Yeah. Good
job, Mom.
Truly unruly, y'all. Marcus Trufant, Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. Remember, follow these guys on all things social at Marcus_Trufant and Jessica_Trufant. And follow us on all things social, the podcast at Truly_Unruly_podcast, and listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a review, and catch the visual on YouTube, and catch us every Sunday on Converge. Ooh, yeah. Peace and love, y'all.